Ahead of the off-cycle governorship elections in Kogi, Imo, and Bayelsa states, the need for credible polls in 3 states to boost the image of the Independent National Electoral Commission after the 2023 general election is now what everyone is talking about. Some people feel like INEC needs to improve on what happened during the general election. Thanks for joining us. This is Standpoint. I am Precious Amayo. Now let's talk about this particular off-cycle election. In the 3 elections, there is a total of over 5 million registered voters that INEC will be handling, and that's in Imo, in Bayelsa, and in Kogi. Now, the voters will be heading to over 10,510 polling units spread across 649 electoral wards in 56 local government areas to cast their ballots in electing the governors of Kogi, Imo, and Bayelsa states on November the 11th. The off-cycle governorship elections are crucial because they are coming after the conduct of the 2023 general elections, with Bayelsa and Imo governors seeking re-election and the Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello seeking to install a successor. The Independent National Electoral Commission is at the concluding stages of its preparations with less than 2 weeks to the off-cycle governorship election. This is the first time that the Commission will be conducting 3 off-cycle governorship elections simultaneously across different geopolitical zones. This is made possible by the coincidence of the end of tenure of the current holders of the offices, which fall within the constitutional time frame of not earlier than 150 days or later than 30 days before the expiration of their terms of office, as enshrined in Section 178, subsection 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. But the actors of these elections, who are politicians themselves, are very important to the fabric of the nation's democracy in the conduct and manner which it is carried out. Joining me to talk about the issues in Bayelsa is the spokesperson, PDP Governorship Campaign Council in Bayelsa State, Everard Don Abednego. Good to have you join us.
Yeah, good afternoon, and thanks for having me.
So the opposition in Bayelsa, they are talking tough. You are the ruling party or governing party, as it were, in Bayelsa. How prepared are you in this election? Are you worried that a surprise could spring up?
Of a truth, I must tell you that for us, the People's Democratic Party, we don't really believe that there is something spectacular that is going to happen on the election day come November 11th. The reason being that on the basis of performance and meeting the criterion for which we were given a mandate in 2019, we believe that on November 11th isn't going to be an election in Bayelsa State. It's going to be a mere affirmation. The reason being that we've been carrying out very extensive campaigns in our communities, our wards and constituencies, and the storylines have all been the same. Community after community, everywhere we go, what the people keep telling us, even today as I'm speaking with you here, my governor is within the Inegwa Senatorial, he's doing fantastic campaigns. The people are telling him clearly, you told us you build schools, you build hospitals, you provide security, you strengthen capacity building for our youth's awards. We believe you have delivered, and that's why we're saying we've never had it so good in Bayelsa State, and therefore, just come November 11th, we'll affirm you to be the governor that has been re-elected, so that February 14th, on Valentine's Day, all of us will hold hands together, including folks from this station. Please come down to Yenegwa and let's celebrate. So for us, we don't have nothing to worry about it because we know if only we can turn the hand of time to say, let it be tomorrow morning, because it's not about if we are going to win. Ours is a settled case because on the basis of records and the uncommon peace and tranquility and security that has become a bragging right for not just our government and the prosperity government of Senator Doyediri, but government after government across the globe. Continental leaders, Nigerian leaders, and even folks from the opposition, they are saying just one thing. This governor has performed well, and therefore, it's not going to be an election between the PDP and the APC. It's between victory and defeats, and light and darkness. So between the two, if you're a man of conscience, even if you're not a Bayelsan, what do you choose? Choose darkness over light? You choose prosperity against failure?
You seem very confident. I can see how you're smiling. But some have said, look, saying that this seat wasn't originally his mandate. He was brought in by the verdict of the Supreme Court that perhaps he's not popular enough to win this election, that perhaps APC or the Labour Party or whichever party in that state would claim back that particular seat. Has the governor garnered enough support in Bayelsa in the last 4 years?
I would rather be careful not to delve into the intricacies and the complexities that heralded whatever happened in 2019. But I can tell you for free, under the new arrangement of Bayelsa State, there isn't anyone that means well politically for the state that is on the other side. But besides, when you say he came through the other door, which door? Within the confines and defines of democracy, there are procedures and processes. One of them is the courts. And that's why where there's an infraction leading to the end product, of course, the court comes in. And so whoever wins through the court or wins through the ballot, all of them is a process of democracy. Was he elected by the people? Of course, yes, he was. And has he been doing fantastic things? Don't ask me. The question, therefore, is not whether he is going to be elected. What are the bases? What are the fundamentals? What are the determinants that were allowed one to be so endeared to his people? And that's why anywhere we go, we tell the people, don't just say there is going to be an election in the States. What are the people saying? The people are saying they found prosperity. Incidentally, that is a mantra of our government. Prosperity in what? Have we provided security? Remember, in the course of an electionary campaign in 2019, this governor and the people met. There was a covenant that was taken from across the frontiers of the state. And what was it? Make Bayelsa State a safer state. Today in this country, even as I'm speaking now, ask security assessors and get their listening to me across the globe. Bayelsa State is the safest state in this country. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo was in Bayelsa State a few days ago. So commission project, can you imagine? We're going around the communities and the neighborhoods of the state campaigning, and at the same time constructing roads, ongoing, commissioning projects, former president, leaders, governors, even folks from the opposition. Look, let me tell you for free.
Some would say that commissioning projects during the season of election cycles is a strategy used by politicians to get people's attention to say, look, we're working, vote for us, we will do more.
See, let me tell you, in Bayelsa State, there are 3 senatorial districts: the Bayelsa West, East, and of course, we have the Central. The Bayelsa East is where I come from, and where the governorship candidate, with due respect, a former governor, Timothy Silva, comes from the APC. The question is, where are the projects that they are going to brag? That for once, I was a governor in Bayelsa for about 5 years. For once, I was the minister for that plumb position, Minister of State for Petroleum. Where are the things? Where are the good things that he took to the people? Where are the capacity, programs that he gave to the people? Where are the bridges? Where are the roads? Where are the schools? Where are the hospitals? And for us as a government that has done 3 years heading to 4, we're saying, go to the communities and the city schools. Go to the communities, the city hospitals. Let me tell you for free. Health service delivery in Bayelsa State is about the first and the best in this country. Why? We have been able to collaborate with the best, and strategically, we distribute health consumables to the nooks and crannies of our state, not minding the terrain. I watched a couple of days ago when the candidate of the other party was interviewed in one national television, certainly not this one. And when he was accosted with the questioners, when you were there as a governor, why didn't you build roads? And he said very clearly, to build a road in Bayelsa State is very, very difficult. But you know what? Under the leadership of the incumbent governor of Bayelsa State, Senator Doidere, he started from the beginning to tell the people, under my watch, there won't be any hiccup. No fundamental hiccup at all. Nothing will prevent me from hitting the roads, building the bridges. Terrain isn't going to be an obstacle. As we speak today in my senatorial district, where the candidate of APC comes from, the people of brass, the forgotten people of brass, the world has been taken to them, even as we're speaking now. Dredgers are ensuring embankments, sand filling, heading straight into the Atlantic, hitting brass. The question is, what are the brass people saying? They have said it clearly in the open. The other one is our son. That is referring to our brother, Chief Timothy Silva, the former governor, who is from there. He's our son. He carries our blood, but no. He failed us consistently as a governor and as a minister. But for you, Senator Doidere, you're our brother, or your brother, but remember, no one has shown us this kind of love that we're giving to us. Why not? And so if it is hometown, in our place, the people are resolved, aside the schools, the hospitals, aside the capacity building, aside the uncommon peace that has been given to the people of brass are now going to see the world, and the world is being taken to them. So anywhere you go across the state, the story is the same. Is it in Bayelsa West? Is it the Central? Remember, you talked about commissioning projects during the election period looking like so political. Remember, If you go to Sagbama-Ekremo axis, a 42-kilometer road has been built, bridges, series of bridges completed. And you know what? We have not even commissioned it. And the people are using.
We will get to that performance in a moment, because there are some areas where analysts and those who are watching, governors in Bayelsa also feel that the governor hasn't performed. But I will give you the opportunity to defend it in just a moment. But I want to talk about this court case that has now come up, against your the deputy governor. I just want to take it accurately. It is a first suit that is coming up asking for the disqualification of the governor, Doyediri, and his deputy, Lawrence Erujakbo. They are saying that they are praying that the court should declare Erujakbo, nullify that election, that Erujakbo has multiple names without any evidence to prove that he is the same person. How is your party reacting to this, and what impact are you concerned that this would have impact on the voters? We
can understand that the victory of Doyediri is so nude that even the blind can feel it. And so the opposition will do anything possible, but nothing is possible with what they're doing. Which courts? About what? I teach law in the university. I understand the intricacies of the matter. It's just a make-up story. And for us as a party, we are not even listening. However, because it's an issue, we have very organized, level-headed, intelligent lawyers who have all the pedigree. Look, we just a part of the answer. Okay, let it be there. We are moving on. We are not worried about it. Is there a
situation where he actually does have multiple names that can be proven?
The gentleman has no legal problem with his names. Everything about him is correct. And so all of those are distractions. And that's why we don't have time. Just like the court case, the Court of Appeal judgment that was given in favor of the APC candidate. And in Bayelsa State, those who celebrated the decision of the Court of Appeal were not folks of the APC, the PDP. Why? The people have resolved that this is the last time this man will see the light of contesting an election. We're referring to former Governor Timothy Silva. The people do not want him. He has been rejected with words and morals. But we're saying finally with the PVC, we're going to decimate him.
But every time he goes campaigning, I do not hold sway for him, but you said he has been rejected. But we've seen the turnout of people who show up for his campaign. So that's not an indication of a man who has been rejected.
I want to also tell you something for free. This is a TV station that has a pedigree and prestige globally. Take your time, run a very careful investigation. Look at the faces in spot A, B, C, D, and all the local government, the same faces. The reason is he needs to mobilize people from one quarter to. They don't have the numbers. Where are the numbers? They don't have it. And so for us as a party, the people are really told.
Wouldn't be right. And I know you do not want to go into the intricacies of how the APC, how your governor came in, your candidate came into office. But would it be right to say APC doesn't have the numbers, seeing that they actually won the election with the numbers?
I told you that I'm being careful.
I know that, but you don't have to talk about it. But I'm just saying that, look, would it then be right to say that they do not have the numbers?
Numbers politically is based on politics is based on structures. And I can say it again for the opt-in time that the election in Bayelsa State come November 11 isn't between PDP and APC. It's between Doyediri, which is light, and Chief Timothy Silva, who has no records at all. So if you go to APC today, check their website and their platforms they are using to operate. Aspersions after aspersions. What are they doing? They accuse this senior member of the APC. He's supporting Doyediri. He go to community this. They are accusing APC member supporting Doyediri. Why are they supporting Doyediri? Well, it is true. They are all supporting Doyediri. All those who mean well for our state. Why? They say, look, the state has never been this peaceful. We have never had this kind of, an uncommon development in our state, virtually in all sectors. And even that, we keep telling the people of our state, there is so much sectoral hunger everywhere in the state. But what?
So you are saying that
carefully with prudence.
So you are saying that the numbers that came out, for the APC 4 years ago would not show up for Timothy Silva.
A lot of things happened in 2019. A lot of things happened. And that's why I don't want to use this platform to talk about it. It can be something we'll talk about a year. But I tell you, Bayelsa State, look, let it be recorded anywhere in the world that they're listening to me now. There isn't a single local government that the APC is going to win in Bayelsa State. Because it's not APC that is contesting. All the senior citizens of APC and critical stakeholders have downsized everything. And they're saying they're standing with Doyediri. And that is why there's so much confusion in the APC. Why are the people doing that? Who doesn't love peace? Who doesn't like security? Remember, but let me say this. We have tried as much as possible as a party and as a campaign council not to cast aspersion on past leaders. That would be like, demarketing our state. But let's say a few things. If Doidiri is celebrated for being the most peaceful, the governor that's brought peace to Bayelsa State, that all senior citizens and security assessors in the country are saying, this one has got it right. Oh, but let me quote the words of Obasanjo. A few days ago, he said, what is happening in Bayelsa State can't be found anywhere in this country. This level of peace can't be found. You know, Obasanjo doesn't mean words in saying things. If all states in Nigeria can toe these patterns the way Idris is using, then Nigeria will become a better place for development. Why? He said there is real peace that endears the people of this country to the outside world. He's telling the world, not even Nigerians, if you want to see how Nigerians can have peace, how peaceful a state can be, come to Bayelsa State. It's a bragging right. Remember I said, the other one was the governor in Bayelsa State for about 5 years. He had a security outfit called Famotangbe. Famotangbe in our Ijaw expression means kill him, then go. But you know what? There is hardly a neighborhood, there is hardly a community that never lost loved ones and had people missing till today. Many injured for life, many missing till today. And I said it before in other stations, I say it again. In my community, it's called Otokpoti, just one night. Members of that monstrous outfit called Famotangbe that he introduced, they shot 5 persons during one week in those
and that's where I was going, because you have talked about how there's peace and security in Bayelsa State, but the APC is accusing you of attacking their supporters in Nembe and some other areas when they went out for campaign. So how is that? How do we then say that that state is peaceful?
A political party where the leader or the standard bearer of the party believes in deceit and falsity, what else would they say? Let me tell you. If you check records and visuals, you see the deputy governorship candidate of the APC addressing supposed supporters in brass, and he was telling them, when they come to fight against what we are standing for, which is anybody who opposes the APC, chase them to the sea, let them die. They will not be the first people that will die. Come on, a deputy governorship candidate? That is the peak of the market in our state. That is the peak of are there words or adjectives to really describe the situation in Bayelsa State under the watch of the Doidiri? We conduct ourselves as a political party in civil manners, in standard practices, universally accepted norms. That's the way it should be. In Bayelsa State, our governor, Senator Doidiri, tells the people of the state, if someone curses you, tell him I'm sorry. If someone insults you, ignore him. If someone slaps you, don't slap him back. If someone hates you, love him. You see, aside the investments that he has made in security, he has been able to build an uncommon belief and consciousness in the hearts of the people, that the people themselves have decided to hold themselves together, hold the hands of security agencies, and they work hand in glove. And that is why the business of protecting lives and property in Bayelsa State isn't about security agencies alone. The people have come to show ownership and responsibility. You are here in TVC News in Abuja, in Lagos. Won't you like a very serene environment? A serene environment makes the wife safer. The kids going to school, they are sure of coming back. The father goes to work, and the wife is not calling, are you safe? Under the watch of the other one, when he was the governor of the state. Oh, every day, gunshots, courties,
all right, so because of time,
in the states.
I want to get to your performance in a moment, but I just want to ask you this. How well is the national structure lining up behind your candidate? Because we understand that on the very day that the Supreme Court judgment was given in favor of the president, your candidate, which is Governor Bayelsa, was in the presidential villa congratulating the president, and that might have made some members of your party at the national level uncomfortable. I want you to speak to that.
Yeah, I would tell you in very clear terms and sincerely too, the business of managing Bayelsa State as the homeland of all Ijaws isn't a mean job or a mean task for anybody. Whoever is the governor of Bayelsa State must have a very cordial relationship with the leadership of the country. And you know what? Time after time, aside National Council of State meetings and other meetings where all governors meet, our governor at all times finds time to go and meet the president, to discuss about the development and challenges of our state in areas where the federal government, the institutions of federal government can partner with the state government. Remember, Bayelsa State contributes so much to the national economy, but at the same time, over the years, Bayelsa State has been the state of agitations, wanting economic rights and certain things to be corrected in the country. And therefore, if you're a governor, you must be sensitive enough to say, what are the major challenges of the state? Can I handle this? If I cannot, can I take it to the federal government to see Mr. President? And so our governor has been consistently saying the president. However, this one coincided with the point that a judgment was given. And for those who saw, of course, though Idris is a man of humility, what's wrong? He's a Democrat. If the president of this country wins an election, what is there? A handshake. Remember, though Idris is from Bayelsa State. Bayelsa State produced the one that is celebrated world over as the icon of democracy, President Goodluck Jonathan. Though Idris is taken after him, and therefore, if you look the way Goodluck Jonathan plays his politics, that's the way Though Idris does. And that's the way we're saying all it just should be. So people should not be having sleepless nights over a meeting that the man went to discuss with the president about the development and prosperity of our state, and at the same time said, Mr. President, congratulations, of course he did the right thing. And
but
so
you still have
nobody at the national level is gnashing any teeth in despair or in disgust or in acrimony. No, they are all saying, Mr. Governor, you're a fantastic person. Remember, a few days ago, there was a crisis in River State. And what did President Ahmed Bola Tinubu do? He waded in to ensure there is peace and security. This is one country. And so a celebration in one place should be appreciated. If there is the venom on another side, let's put hands together and solve it together. And so for us, as a party, whether at the state level or national, remember, I'm a member of the PDP Special Media and Publicity Committee. So we know all that is happening in our party. Our party is so solid, and we understand what the Idris is doing. If there is any governor any day that the party believes this one is not about any contestation, is the Idris settled. And that's why we're saying, come November 11, we are not going to cast votes for the Idris and to be president. By essence, we'll cast a vote of affirmation to say, for doing so well, please just continue.
November the 11th is just barely 7 days away. So we will see all of this confidence. We'll see how it plays out in the polls. But I wanted to talk about the performance of your candidate. The budget has ranked your state, Bayelsa State, the worst when it comes to fiscal responsibility. In 2021, it was ranked 36 out of 36 states. And in 2022, it was ranked 35 out of 36 states, beating just only or ahead of just only Benue State. And I want to just let our viewers know what fiscal responsibility is before you respond to that. It is basically about the assessment based on indices like the ability of the state to cover its operating costs without borrowing, solely with the IGR. It is ability to meet all operating expenses and loan repayment obligations. And your state has been ranked really low.
Yeah, I think anytime we see a space like this to talk about this matter, I will spend all our energy to do that, but I won't spend much of our energy to talk about this. Reason being that when you talk about fiscal responsibility, a government that is engaged in massive construction of roads and bridges and schools and hospitals, technical colleges, looking at issues of primary education, secondary and tertiary, and contractors are paid. Have we had any company say we did not meet our contractual obligation? You see, sometimes Africans, and that's why when I hear my good friend and mentor, Professor Lumumba, say things about Africa, it gladdens my heart. And I weep on the other side and say, why are we doing this ourselves? What do Bayelsans want? Bayelsans want roads. The governor is giving the roads. If you go to Southern Niger is the largest local government in this country. Southern Niger is the most naturally endowed local government in this country. It's like a country in Nigeria. And Southern Niger is the most marginalized local government in this country. Do you know what's happening in Southern Niger? Aside the schools and the hospitals and the technical colleges that have been built there and the security that have become overwhelming. Look, for the first time, the world is being taken to Southern Niger. Community after community. We are heading towards their local government headquarters for them to see road for the first time. And look, what the people of the states have asked this governor to do is, dear governor, do everything you can within the ambit of law to ensure that you drive the process of development so that this mantra of prosperity can be realized.
Even if it's leaving a huge dead body.
No, the question we're asking is when we say huge dead burden, let me tell you, Bayelsa State is not leaving a world of heavy burden on the state financially. Why? Even when there are opportunities for us to go follow, like I said, credence has been given to the governor, legitimacy has been given to the governor, aside the election that was, that he was elected by the people. The people met several internal meetings and said, Your Excellency, we don't want any of these projects that you started to stop. And that is why we're asking. Aside what you're reading, I don't want to say what you're saying is right or wrong, but as a Bayelsan, our people are not bothered about what one reporter said. Our people are bothered about the sanctity of life. Our people are bothered about fiscal discipline. Let me tell you, the world over is promoting on Bayelsa State. Why? They are saying if there is any place that the fiscal responsibility is predictable and dependable and reliable, it's Bayelsa State. Why? This is a government that is transparent, is very frugal, committing resources to critical areas of interest on the basis of pyramid of need. And then you are saying Bayelsa State is about the second lowest in terms of debt burden, fiscal responsibility. If you say that to Bayelsa, they tell you, what are you saying? Can't you see the things on ground? The man is changing lives. Have you taken time to ask senior citizens of the state what has happened to them in the past 3 years, going to 4 years? It's the first time in the history of this country we challenge any state government, including the one in Lagos here. How do they pay pensioners, senior citizens in Lagos State and any other state in this country, including the federal civil servant? They are in Bayelsa State. You don't need to know anybody. You sit at the comfort of your home after disengagement from service as a senior citizen, and you have your lot to say. Your pension and gratuity has been paid. Remember, when he came in as a governor, bearing in mind that other governors may have tried their own part in trying to handle most of these issues, so we don't want to cast any aspersion. Everybody may have done his all right. But remember, this governor came with inherited a backlog of unpaid pension gratuities in arrears, promotion for civil servants, entitlements, etc. What has he done? Look, let me tell you. Ask any civil servant in Bayelsa State to tell you this is the best moment we've had. Now we're talking about senior citizens who are sitting at the comfort of their home and getting alert. What about those who are still in service? They get promotion as at when due. So the incremental arrears are paid. And life is getting better for them.
Is that being paid from the loan bill? Because you're justifying the loans. And most of the states are also owing. So it's not just Bayelsa. But I am saying, the question is, are you paying from the loans being taken? Are you paying pensioners? Or are you generating enough IGRO to pay? And then what is the repayment plan in the next 4 years if you do win?
If there is one state that does not believe that a loan should be taken for recurrent purposes, it's Bayelsa State. And let me tell you, because we've tried to avoid certain things. The other one that is on the other side, I don't want to call him so I don't popularize him, the candidate of the other party, of the APC, he was the governor in Bayelsa State in 2017 to about 2012. The debt burden of the state then, I think, was 22 billion. As at the time was living, it was almost hitting 100 billion. Now, those are the debts that this government here is battling. Former Governor Siriake Dixon worked so hard to reduce the debt burden of the states and pushing ahead for development. The Oediri came and said, no, we are challenging people. Where are the new debts and loans that this government has taken? I am saying it for free. The House of Assembly has given the governor a blank check. Take a loan and drive the process. That's what our people want. Traditional rulers, opinion leaders, critical stakeholders, including senior citizens of the APC, they have told the governor, we are seeing the lights through your magnanimity and passion, your patriotism, your love for our people. Do everything you can within the ambit of law. Right. Remember, taking a loan is also doing things right on the basis of legitimacy and within the ambit of law. Has he gone for the loans? Look, when you hear that the rating of Bayelsa States in terms of loan burden is on the wrong side, it's because of the other one who was there.
All right.
And look, the loans he took, let me say this first, the loans he took as a governor for 5 years, where are the projects? Where are the roads? Where are the schools?
So we do have
where
to
is the capacity built for our people? That's why in Bayelsa State we keep telling those who care to listen, and even those who don't need to listen.
Right. Mr. Abednego, we do have to leave it there. This popularity and performance of your governor will be tested in less than 7 days.
It's not going to be tested. There will be an affirmation.
Well, it will be for you it's an affirmation. For those who are watching, it is a test, and it will be tested in less than 7 days. We'll see how things play out. Thank you so much for talking to us. The spokesperson for the Governorship Campaign Council of Bayelsa State, Evarada Don Abednego. Thank you.
It's a pleasure being here. Most importantly, we are also done the same colors.
Yes, well, somehow it did happen today.
It's a sign that Valentine is very close. Next time I come, we'll be on red or a touch of red to show.
Well, that would be the day of swearing in. We'll see who will be sworn in.
Celebration. Please don't waste time to come
over. Mr. Evarada, we do have to leave it there.
Bless you.
Thanks for staying with us. You're watching Standpoint. A few days ago, we saw the president presenting the party's flag to the gubernatorial candidates of Imo, Bayelsa, and Kogi. Now, the candidate of Kogi State is Usman Ododo. They have been a lot of people are wondering, because it's the only state where the governor is not running for a second term. And people are wondering, how will the APC do? Because the governor, again, is not running. This is a fresh, almost like conducting a fresh election. Will the APC be able to win this election? Or are we going to see a surprise in Kogi State? But let's speak now to the Commissioner for Information, Kogi State, Kingsley Fowl. Good to have you join us. Mr. Fowl, how prepared is your party for this election?
Thank you so much. Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
Let me first the objectivities of the campaign, and I want to thank viewers around the world. And everyone watching us right now. And any other person, I am paid in my local government right now to be with you. So we are working harder than the opposition, because we know the need for consolidation and continuity, and we are not taking anything for granted.
Well, thanks for staying with us. You're watching Standpoint. We're back in Kogi State now, where we are looking at the just preparations towards the November the 11th governorship election there. We're speaking with the Commissioner for Information in that state, Kingsley Fowl. He's talking about, he's here to talk about how well prepared his party is and the chances of their candidate. But let's just state that he's on the road as they continue to campaign, and the network around him might be a bit poor. But we'll just do our best with what we have. Mr. Fowl, you were speaking earlier to the preparation of your party for this election. But I also wanted to ask you, because I know that you are the governing party, but we've seen governing parties being unseated in this country before. So what are the chances of your candidate? How do you think he will perform?
Thank you very much. We are very confident that our candidate, Usman Ododo, is going to win a landslide because it is going to be a referendum on the performance of our party in the last 7.5 years. And the people of Kogi State are very comfortable with the achievements of the administration of Alhaji Yahaya Bello. Now we have a candidate who was a part of that system, who was a part of that success story, who is competent, who has the capability and the capacity, and who is ready to move the state forward. And that is why his slogan has been about consolidation and continuity of the laudable achievement of the present administration in the state. So we are very, very confident that as we have been winning in elections since 2015, we are going to win again a landslide in 2023.
But the candidates of the SDP, Ajaka, and the candidates of the PDP, Dino Milai, have both described themselves as more popular than your candidate, that he is not going to win this election because he has no popularity. How do you react to that?
I don't know their own definition of popularity. You know, people have different definitions of popularity. For instance, if your school sat is in contention, you could be very popular because people will now talk about it and say, oh, is it that he didn't go to that secondary school or he went there? Then if you have been very dramatic, maybe in your political opportunities you've had in the past, definitely you'll be very popular because people will see you as more of a comedian and all of that. So I don't know how they are rating their popularity. When it comes to serious issues of statecraft, of governance, of financial engineering, of development, of, trying to take the state, the opponents know that they cannot stand in that. He has been in the executive arm of government by being the Auditor General for local government area. He has been part of the financial team of the administration that has done so well for the state. So he understands the ropes. They don't understand it. And he's the most prepared out of the most of those candidates that are contesting. As you are aware, one of them was asked about the internal generated revenue of the state. They don't even know what the state is generating. So someone who does not even have information about the state, how do you want the person to be able to come and improve on the development of the state? So they don't have knowledge. They are not ready. They just want to be called executive governor. It goes beyond that. There is a standard already in Kogi State. UIB has set a standard that anyone coming will have to, raise up and buckle up and ensure that he's able to take the state further. We have seen schools that we have never seen in the history of the state. We have seen. So to come in, you must be ready. You must be prepared. You must be able to fit into that setting to be able to take the state forward. The people of Kogi State are sophisticated. They understand what they want. They know what they want. They know that they need someone who will be able to take further this achievement that we are witnessing under the present administration in the state. So when they talk about popularity, I don't know what they understand by that. The most popular, the most prepared, the most competent, the most capable, the person that is most ready for the job is Ahmed Usman.
Okay, you talk about how ready he is and how prepared he is, but what track record does it have that has led to that or enabled that preparation?
The track record he has is that he has been tested at the executive arm of government by being the Auditor General for local government area. He has been part of the financial engineering that has been able to raise the state to the level it is today. When people were talking about COVID-19, our finance team, which comprises of the Commissioner of Finance, the Auditor General, the Accountant General, they were able to release billions of naira to build hospitals that are the best in the history of the country today, because we have facilities in those hospitals that are debuting for the first time in the history of Africa. So when you talk about people like that, they are the people that are ready. When you talk about the audit law for local government, he has been the person who has been able to come, dust it up, and implement it. And before, the advent of the present administration, that was not experienced. So we are talking of people who have been in the executive arm of government, who understand statecraft, who understands what the state has, who understands the challenges of the state, and who understands how to take the state forward. These people have never served in those capacities before.
How do you also react to some of your opponents also saying, look, it will seem as though they are running against the governor and not your governorship candidate? That the gubernatorial candidate has been eclipsed by the personality of the governor, and that the governor seems to be taking, I'm just going to use the word in quote, the shine of your candidate in this particular electoral process. How do you respond to that?
That shows you the fear factor, and that shows you they are jittery. They are running against the system. They are running against the party. It's not just about Ahmed Usman Ododo. They are running against the All Progressives Congress in the state. That party has been in power since 2016. That party has done so much for the people of the state. That party has continued to win election after election since 2015. So they know it is not just about Ahmed Usman Ododo. Yes, he's the person on the ballot. He's the identity that we want to enunciate as a great leader. This is the person who will take the state forward. Yes, that is true. But all of us are involved. It is a test. It is a referendum on the system that all of us have worked on. I just told you, I excused myself from a rally at 6 Orokere in Mopamo local government area. I'm in my vehicle now just to be able to speak with you and give you updates. So everyone in the system is involved in it. So they should not just be talking about the governor. We are involved. The governor is involved. Everybody in the system, everybody in the party, from the national to the state to the local government to the world to the unit level, we are the people that are going into this contest. So I don't know why they are jittery. When we talk about structure, they say structure doesn't matter. SDP does not have anybody in my polling unit, for instance. They don't have people in my local government. They just have people who do some kind of political permutations and run after them to get what they want. But there is no structure anywhere. They don't have a single councillor. APC has all the councillors in all the wards in the state. And they have all the chairmen. They have 22 out of 25 House of Assembly, 6 out of 9 House of Reps, 2 out of 3 senators. They have the governor of the state, and they have the presidency. So when you talk about this, you are talking about a structure that is formidable enough to win election. And we are not just banking on that. We are campaigning hard. I've gone through about 5 wards in my local government today with a team, including the director general of the campaign and all of that. So you can see that we are campaigning hard. We are talking to our people. We are reminding them. And the good news, again, is that just yesterday, the governor has released 500 million naira to be able to pay for all WAEC fees in the state. So it means if your child is registering for WAEC this year, you don't have to pay a dime. And, it is a policy that has come to stay in the state. When it was announced some few months ago, some naysayers were saying, it's not going to stand, it's not going. But now, what some of them were using to hoodwink our people has been cut off using very robust administrative platform to be able to launch this. And that is where we're going. So It is not just about the governor, it's about the system. We all belong to that system.
And there is no problem with the governor campaigning for him, but how well is he at the forefront of his own campaign, and how well do the people know him?
Of course, he's at the forefront of his campaign. Immediately he secured his ticket. He went around of the party you belong to, and the party you belong to, it will be whether you are in APC. And that's why you have seen many of those leaders of those opposition parties moving into the party. Former senators, a former deputy governor, architect Yomi Awoniyi was the one that led our campaign in our local government yesterday. They've all jettisoned PDP, SDP, ADC. They've come to APC because they know that that's the party that can actually take the state forward. So he has been at the forefront. He has been leading his own campaign. So, you know, when people say that, yes, the governor is the leader of the party in the state, so you will see him at the forefront too. But the candidate has been the one passing his own message of consolidation, of continuity, of development, of hope for our people in the state.
We understand that, and this is the general concern of some people in your state, we understand that government is a continuum, and if your candidate wins, he definitely will continue with some of the policies of the current governor. But how well will he be independent, and which is a concern? Some are saying, look, he might just be the poster boy for the governor. How well will he be independent of the governor? And then also speak to us about his own personal development agenda for the state.
Those raising those concerns, you know, we cannot blame them for raising those concerns because maybe they don't even know the personality of Alhaji Yahaya Bello. I am the Commissioner for Information and Communications, and I run my ministry. It does not interfere in anything I do in my ministry, whether it has to do with projects, programs. It does not interfere. What he wants is delivery. He has set his own agenda, and he has given you, you know, some of the things that you need to meet up with. So it is left for you to go and devise your own ways that are in line with the administrative practices and procedures of government to be able to achieve that. If you could give a commissioner free hand to run his ministry, why you now say you will not give a governor free hand to run the state? The concern of Alhaji Yahaya Bello is the development of the state. And that is why the person that is coming now will be able to consolidate and continue on the program, on the project, on the development that he has brought. So not giving him free hand, I don't subscribe to that. He is going to give him the free hand to run the state.
And I also asked that you should speak to us about his own development agenda for Kogi State.
Which of them are you talking about? The governor
your candidate
or our candidate? Yes, you know, it's built on the thematic areas that the present administration is using because it was part of the people that came up with the 5 thematic areas of the present administration in the state, with concentration on education, on healthcare delivery, on agriculture, on youth and women empowerment and inclusion, and on industrialization. These are the key things that the administration of Ahmed Usman Ododo will be taking forward. It is not a dramatic departure from what we are witnessing right now under the administration of Alhaji Yahaya Bello. It is going to consolidate, it is going to deepen it, it is going to widen it, it is going to give more people access to be able to have access to some of these facilities. For instance, when you look at the Blue Roof Revolution of the GYB administration that brought the Blue Roof primary school, model primary schools to all of the wards in the state, then you would see that we were graduating to getting model schools in secondary school. The ones that we have in Lokoja, Okebukun, and many of the other communities around, we want to develop, we want to move, we want to have it in all of the local government areas in the state. So it will take the incoming administration to be able to expand that so that more and more people will be able to benefit from that. The model health centers that are some of the best in the country, like I've been saying, like the one in Okenedi reference hospital with the hyperbaric chambers, that is the only one in the entire Africa. Then you see, we want to expand that. We already have some of those facilities also, some of those hospitals, not at that tertiary scale also, but we have them across the state, at Gegu, at Solu, and some other part. We want to expand so that every local government will be able to have. So it is more about consolidation and continuity. New ideas will be injected because we're having a new person coming in, but it's not going to be a dramatic difference from the past. We already have a framework to work with, and he was part of the people that built that framework. So he's not going to jettison the framework that has worked so well for the state.
All right, so let's talk about this, just as we begin to wind down this conversation. Again, the SDP candidate has accused you of perpetrating violence in the state and has said that, look, and that's the APC, accusing the APC, and has said that, look, they are worried about the implication that this could have on the conduct of the election. I want you to speak to that, and then how committed are you to a free and fair election in Kogi State? Can the residents of Kogi State trust you?
I remember when I was younger, I was going to the farm, and it was a contest of who will cultivate more hips between me and someone. And I knew the person was stronger than me, so I started giving excuses before we got to the farm. That's what you are experiencing in Kogi State. Muri Ajaka and the opposition people, they are jittery. They know they've lost this election. They don't have the structure. They don't have the pedigree. They don't have the capacity. They don't have the personnel to be able to win the election. So they are already giving excuses. Muri Ajaka went to Okene and worshipped in a mosque in Okene and interacted freely with the people of Okene. Okene is where the governor comes from. Nobody attacked him there. Dino Melaye went to Okene to hold a rally, and people came out to listen to what he would say to them. Nobody attacked them. But because they know that the next election is already won and lost, they are trying to make issues to wipe up sentiments and to also cover up for some of the lies and misrepresentation that they have put out there. And that's why they are saying that somebody is perpetrating violence. Muri Ajaka went to Kotonkarofi, and in the wake of it, a member of the APC, whose only sin was wearing a cap bearing the insignia of APC. That was the only sin she committed, and she was gunned down by Muri Ajaka's thugs. And today, the same person is talking about somebody waging violence. There is no violence. We've had campaigns since yesterday, my local government. We covered 6 wards yesterday. We've covered more today. And there is no violence anywhere. We are campaigning freely. We are talking to the people. It is about the ballots and not the bullets. And our party, we are confident. We won in 2015. We won in 2019. We won the governorship election in 2019. We won the general election in 2023. We are going to win the general election again in 2020. So why are we going to wage violence? Why will the stronger party, the strongest party, the party that has been winning elections, why will that party be waging violence? The mushroom parties that know they are going nowhere are the ones that are already making excuses for their loss next weekend. And by next weekend, I hope to be on this program again so that we start the celebration in earnest. Thank you.
Thank you so much for talking to us. Always a pleasure. Commissioner for Information, Kogi State, Kingsley Fowl. The election is just less than 7 days. We'll see how things play out. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you very much for having me.
You've been watching Standpoint. Remember, you can watch a repeat broadcast at 11 p.m. tonight and 5 a.m. on Sunday morning. I am Precious Amayo. Thanks for watching.